So it's customary to read on Tisha B'Av night the Kinot. The Kinot for Tisha B'Av night were written in different points in history, anywhere from the 3rd century until the 14th, 15th century. There are very few Kinot for Tisha B'Av night. More Kinot are found Tisha B'Av day. And the first Kina starts with the word Oy Mehayalanu. It's the theme that repeats itself throughout the Kinot is Oy Mehayalanu, woe what has happened to us. And the Kinot basically are structured so that they contrast the sins that we've done during the time of the Beit HaMikdash that resulted in the terrible punishments. So there's the terrible punishment, but there's also what sin has caused it. So it's the first kina. Zchor Adonai mehayalanu oy yavitorena es karpasenu oy mehayalanu nachlasenu le'efal azarim oy batenu lenochrim oy mehayalanu יסומי מיינו בינו בוי מוסנו מקומנו לחודשם אוי מהיולנו ממינו בכסף שעושינו אוי כי ניסוך המים בוזינו אוי מהיולנו. The first line here is saying that we couldn't get water to drink because we disregarded the custom of pouring the water on the mizbeach. We were pursued by our enemies because we pursued baseless hatred. בנפשנו נביא לחמנו, כי קפצנו על מידינו, מעלינו. We have a hard time even getting bread because we didn't give our bread to the poor people. הורינו כסנו נחמרו, כי כבודם בקולונים נראוי מהיולנו. נשים בציוננו, כי איש עשריהו, איש עשריהו, תימו בזינו מהיולנו. שרים בידם נתלוי. Distinguished people were hung because they were stealing from poor people. The elders, the judges, were kicked out of the courthouse by the enemy because they didn't do enough justice for the widow and the orphan. The Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because there were not enough people who were coming to the Aliyah L'Regel, pilgrimage, on Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuos. על הר ציון ששומם אוי כי הר הבית משומם אוי מאוילנו עתו אדוני לעולם תשב תסחו לדור ולדור הילומו לא נצח תשכוחנו הייתעזבנו ליורך יומים למו לא נצח תשכוחנו הייתעזבנו ליורך יומים השיבנו אדוני אלך ונשובו חדש יומנו כקדם כמוס מסלנו קצף לבינו עד מאוד השיבנו אדוני אלך ונשובו חדש יומנו כקדם. We conclude with the words השיבנו השם אלך ונשובו Hashem, please return us to you and we will in our days of glory. The next kina is called Belil Zayid Kiyum Be'elulun Banayim. This night my children are going to cry. As if Hashem is speaking. It's spoken in first person, and it's speaking about the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash from the perspective of God. V'chol beis Yisrael yegul digonai v'yitkus asrei Asher Sarach Adonai B'leil zeh temahme teyalu ma'arani yonech v'yotzu mebeiso v'yovachai mubdeles v'yotzu mebeiso v'nisgar adeles v'olcho v'shivya v'chol penei cheles B'yom shulchan v'yishvares v'olcheles v'yishiyotzo v'yishimnacheles v'tzomeis Adonai B'leil zeh yivkiun v'yilelun bonai v'lo zechorav beis kodshi v'nisrafu armonai. On this night my children were expelled and my house was destroyed. B'leil zeh agalgal sivdei v'achovo arishon gam sheni beis nechrova v'odlo rochom v'vasa sholeva Ushkisa rosh v'esbitna tzoho v'shulchan mibeiso v'gam rosh sotovo Gidol asino meis asher ahevo kalman v'sayus kishon ezova v'tomer tzion azavani Adonai B'leil zeh yivkiun v'yilelun bonai v'leil zechorav v'yiskuchi v'nisrafu armonai B'leil zeh kodarti v'choshchu ha'meoros v'churban beis kodshi v'lutil mishmaros B'leil zeh sabuni afufu nitzoros v'gam kol ha'moed b'din chomish gezeros v'chi chinam bochu ונקבע לדורס ים כי יויסוסי במים אדוני ולזיקיון וילגון בוני ולזכור אביס קודשי ונשרפו armonai. And this night the Jewish people cried, and in the desert they said they don't want to go into Israel, and that is something that led to the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. בליל זה קודרתי וחושכו המאורוס לחורבן בית קודשי וביטול משמרוס בליל זה סבוני אפופוני צורוס וגם קרום מועד בדין חמש גזרוס וכיכינו בוכו ונקבע לדורס ים כי יויסוסי במים אדוני בליל זה קיום ולילון בוני בליל זה חורב בית קודשי ונשרפו armonai. Now we speak of 5 things that happened on Tisha B'Av. Lazer erubo chamesh meoros gozar alomos bifra peros v'davku bo tzaros rabos meros v'muchonai v'gva pedos v'midoy v'yikim kozvos kum ki zeh hayom asher asa Adonai v'lozikiyum v'lelun v'nai v'zeh nisrefu choravis migdoshi v'nisrefu armonai. The following kina is, to me, the saddest kina there is. It's just heartbreaking. It's called Shomron Titin Kol, and it's sort of a conversation. There were 2 kingdoms that Bnei Israel had. There was the northern kingdom with the 10 tribes, and there was the southern kingdom, Judea and Benjamin, and both suffered. The 10 tribes were expelled a few decades before the rest of us, and they were expelled. They were the 10 lost tribes. We don't know where they are today, but Yehuda stayed a bit, but then it was also destroyed. And this is a sort of a conversation between Shomron, the capital of the north, and Yehuda, Allah, the God, the tent of God. And it's sort of a discussion. Who has it worse? The 10 tribes in the north, or the tribe of Yehuda, the kingdom that was destroyed? And it's a debate. Each one highlights where it suffered. Shomron titin kol metzoni Adonai. Shomron titin kol. Shomron, the kingdom of Samaria, is going to say, look, my sins have caught up with me. Shomron titin kol metzoni Adonai. My sins have caught up with me. Shomron titin kol metzoni Adonai le'eretz acheres yitoni bonai. So Shomron says, my sins have caught up with me, my children are lost. The Oholiva, Yehuda, Jerusalem, is saying, my palaces were burnt, the Beit HaMikdash. And now Shomron says, no, I have it much harder. Lo lach Oholiva chashavonechoni, hatamshilu lecholiyech v'shivri lecholiyech. אני לא סורב לא גדתי בקושי וכמולי ככה שוויונו במרי ובמקטס היומים שילמתי נישי ותגלס בלסר אוכל ספירי חמדוסי פושט והציל לסדי ולך הלך בכל נושא שבי Domi Oliva Valti Kikavichi or Shnosai or Hula or Hushanai. The Oliva Tizak Mr. Fuarmona Tomationes Vania Dunai. So you, Yehuda, never saw what it means that all of your children were lost. They're all gone. And I was expelled earlier. And you had a longer time to stay in Eretz Yisrael before you were expelled. And now Oholiva, Yehuda, responds, Meshiva Oholiva, Ani Kene Kashti, Ubalufnu Rai, Keoholo Bogadeti, Domi Oholoki, Agoni Zoharti Nodadatat Achas Ravus Nodadeti, Hinei Beada Kasdim, Pamanil Kadati, Ushviani Olabobali, Raditi, Lenis Rafa Hechala Shabon Nichbadeti, Uleshivim Shano Bebobal Nishkadati, Bishati Litzirno Vechali Usati, גם זו ספר מעט לא עמדתי עד לכהני אדום לחימת עובדתי ועל כל הרוצוס נופצו המוני ואוליבתי זק נשרפו המוני לתומר ציון עזוב אני אדוני. So Oliva, Jerusalem, says, you only went into exile once. I went twice. First I went to Babylon and then the Romans. And you, once you went into exile, that's it. You stayed in the same place. I, on the other hand, Yehuda, I was out in Golos, just expelled from one place to the other, constantly moving. So they're both in very bad shape. תזכור עוונו וסליחוסם לפונוס, שיבה מנחם ואילוסם, כי אלושים רמת אילוסם, חדש ימינו כי מי קדמוני, כי נעמכו בוני ירושלים אדוני. We say Hashem, look at the tragedy of both of them, both Yehuda and the 10 tribes, and have mercy and bring them all back. And now we have the next Kina Hey, Adon Abchia B'Tzion Misped B'Yerushalayim, is themed by the 12 themes of every month. Every month has its mazel, has its symbol. So the month of Tishrei is scales, the month of Adar has fish. So each of those symbols, all the stars of the heaven, the entire cosmic system here is speaking and crying because of what happened. It's as if the heavens are weeping for us. בציון המספד בירושלים, תרחם ציון לסבני חומוס ירושלים, אז בחטאינו חורב מקדוש ובעוונותינו נשרף היכל, בארץ חוברו לא כושר, מספד וצבא שמיים נשאו קינו, אדונו בחייה בציון מספד בירושלים, תרחם ציון לסבני חומוס ירושלים, גם בוכו במרר שבטי יעקב, אך מזלו סיזלו דימו, דגלי ישורון חפו ראשם וחימו וכסיל קבר פניהם, Adonai b'chia b'tzion u'misped b'Yerushalayim terachem tzin v'sivnechem b'Yerushalayim. Tiru Avos, the forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov came and asked God, and Moshe asked God to have mercy, but nothing helped. Tiru Avos v'lo shama el tzak u'panim v'lo ano'av v'kol ha'tor nishma b'mora miro v'nemon lo ito ozen. Adonai b'chia b'tzion u'misped b'Yerushalayim terachem tzin v'sivnechem b'Yerushalayim. זרע הקודש לא פשוט סקים וצבא שמיים גם הם סקו סם סוסם חושך השמש ביורח קודר וכוחונים ומזל סספונו גם אדונו בחייה בציין מספד בירושלים תרחם ציין וסבנכם בירושלים. Tole Rishon, the month of Nisan is the muzzle of Nisan is a Tole, a lamb, and the lamb is crying because it sees the descendants of Am Yisrael being led like sheep to slaughter. Tole Rishon bocho b'mar nefesh al kikboso v'tevach uvolu yelo lo yishmi ashor b'meroim kel tzavar nirnedafnu kulanu. The muzzle of an ox was crying because the Jews got a burden, a yoke, the way you see they used to put on slaves. Yelo lo yishmi ashor b'meroim kel tzavar nirnedafnu kulanu adonu b'chia v'tzim mispid v'rashayim terachim tzim v'sidnehom Yerushalayim. כוכב תאומים נראה חלוק, כי דם אחים נשפוך כמות. אורץ בשין פסדנו תום כניסה לחנו מפני צמא אדונו בחינו ובציון משפט בירושלים ורחם ציון וסבנך עמוס ירושלים. The muzzle of twins got split because the blood of brethren was split because we were so busy fighting one another. And then the scorpion wanted to drop because we were dying from thirst. The scorpion lives from water. The muzzle of a lion was devastated because our roar was not heard in the heavens. And the muzzle of a virgin, a young woman, was also saddened because young people were being killed. Sibeth was name will be here Shchina Cave Harlom Mobis Mechai Macro Lovash Pachaduro, Doki Becher Vero, Proton to Rain Radon of Hill, Tim Rushan Garham, Shalom. The scales asked for mercy because the scales were kept against us. I Palgi my Moridum Dimo Kanachal Kios Bakeshes Lonita So for my email, Roshinu Limole, Hikinu Yavish, I'm going to be with Mr. Yerushalayim. Tirachem Tzion Vesivnech, Amos Yerushalayim. So the bucket, the muzzle of a bucket, also was devastated because there was no water. Kirav no korban velonis kabel udifos aksechato seinu rachmanis bishli yadin mazal dagim edinenov adono bechio. The muzzle of the Gedi, the little sheep, also was sad because we stopped bringing in the Beit HaMikdash korbanot. Shochachnu Shabbos belibos shavovim shadai shikachot zitosinu temkane letzion gedolo v'soir leramos yamor negecho. Here we finish off asking for the rebuilding of the Beit HaMikdash. Tirachem Tzion kasher mato v'sachonano kasher divarto Mar Yishua v'sachish gilo v'sachov l'Yerushalayim b'rachim ragim kakos v'ayam liyacho lochen ko mar Adonai shavti l'Yerushalayim b'riacham m'beisi yudbonai b'nei u'madar ma'itzavos v'tovinote al Yerushalayim Ibnei marod kerolei morko mar Adonai tzevos oteputzeno ra טוב וניחם אדוני עוד ציון ובחרות בירושלים נאמר כי ניחם אדוני ציון ניחם כל חורותיה ויעשה מדברו כידם וירבוסו כגן אדוני Soson v'simcho imotzei lo toda v'kol zimro. Those are the keynote for the night of Tisha B'Av, fairly short. And again, the night is considered the peak of the Avelut, of the sadness. And it's the day that gradually lifts us out of it. And until Chatzot, midday tomorrow, we start sitting in chairs and doing more than we've done until Chatzot. And in the morning, still, though we don't put on talit, tefillin. It's still a very sad day. So may this be a time where we recognize what we lost, and a time that we are blessed with comfort and see in the rebuilding of Yerushalayim.